Hello, everybody, and thank you for coming to and listening to our podcast, Cafecito podcast here with, got a special guest, Alberta. How are you doing today?
Really good, David. Thank you. How are you?
Fine. I'm so glad that you're here. I've known you, híjole, for, I can't remember. It's probably been 10 years.
Yeah, maybe more.
I mean, I love everything that you've done. So I wanted to ask you to join us and come and talk to us about community and culture and what you do with your restaurant. Tell a little bit about all that stuff. So this is all part of what I'm doing in North County, my city, North County, and also San Diego for Cafecito. So sharing positive stories is what I love to do.
I love that.
So tell us about who you are and what do you do?
Okay, well, first I want to say to you, you are a great example to us all. So thank you for what you do. So my name's Alberta. I am the owner of A Delight of France in Escondido. We're a bakery, bistro, cafe. We love what we do. We do a little bit of the restaurant and catering, wholesale, a little bit of different things.
And what are you what's one of your things you're very famous for?
Oh, you love it, huh? One of the most famous things is the almond croissant. And boy, that almond croissant has been so good to us. It's just, even during times that could be fluctuations or what COVID, that almond croissant just got us through so much. I love that almond croissant.
Well, I'm thinking it probably got you through from the business side, but at home, the taste and enjoyment of that croissant, homemade,
Yeah, it's hard not to eat it all the time. It takes discipline, but I do allow myself to have some, absolutely.
Wow. And what's your menu? You have breakfast and lunch only, correct?
Yes, we have breakfast and lunch, and we hope when we get to the new location, we want to expand to a new location to have the dinners again. And but yeah, we do make a good breakfast all day for sure.
And for those you have to stop by, located in the heart of Escondido on Grand Avenue. I don't know, what's the street address?
It's 126 West Grand Avenue.
I always say right next door to Felipe's.
Yeah, that's right. Right next door.
And if you're that person across the street from Pounders, if people know what Pounders is.
Yeah.
We got a little bit of everything down in Escondido.
Yeah, we sure do.
I'm being a Chula Vista boy, born and raised, and moving to Escondido, North County. It's been, meeting you 10 years ago was fabulous.
Same here, yes.
I mean, I think I met you through the Chamber of Commerce and all these food sampling events that we used to do back in the day, huh?
Yes, I think what's so fun is that we have been able to meet with other businesses and seeing their passions and just coming together, and there's just like a bond of just supporting each other, right?
Well, that's what the topic I want is about community. We have business community, you have nonprofit community, you have all these different communities, but community as a whole, I mean, is what we thrive on to make our cities thrive. I mean, we have 10 incorporated cities in North County. I've been on passion with my city, North County, since you saw me start this platform, is how do we bring communities together? And I'm doing this with this podcast, bringing people. Vicente just left from Vista, you're here from Escondido, and it's just like so much passion and love we got.
Absolutely.
But I always like to hear stories. I love stories. So when did you come in, and I can't remember if you opened or you purchased and took over the restaurant. I can't remember that.
Okay, so 14 years ago, we bought A Delight of France from the previous owner. It was originally owned by a gentleman named Jacques, and it went through a couple of hands. They were very short-lived, but they kept it going. And then 14 years ago, we took over and kind of added what we envisioned and what we wanted, the direction we wanted it to go, and created what it is today. So,
did you come in with some of the recipes that you inherited, or did you come out with some of your own recipes?
Both. So we had some of the recipes. Some of them we, I'd like to say enhanced. Right. Some of them weren't changed, and then some we added. So we just kind of looked at everything and made it what we feel is ours today.
Right. I remember we were talking about that I had an idea one day to do a recipe book, and you said, David, I'll share a recipe, but not my almond croissant.
I get asked all the time for that recipe.
And I think we shared, my mom's a baker. She loved almonds.
Yes.
She loved almond croissants, and the almond paste that she used to do in all her dessert treats was delicious, right?
You lucky guy.
Yeah, I don't know. My still favorite is your French scrambled. What's that?
Oh yeah, the French scramble. Yeah, it's a nice meal where you just get our scrambled eggs with the herb de Provence, garlic herb potatoes, the croissant or baguette.
Right. Now I'm getting hungry. So what work did you do before this restaurant? Did you?
Oh my goodness, I've done several things. So it's funny you asked. I was just talking to to someone the other day. I actually used to do a little bit of teaching, but I focused more on raising my children, and that was my life. I worked in the community in Escondido with some schools, and then I also did some homeschooling. My husband is the one that has the full background in the baking industry. He worked with Bimbo, Weber Bread, and some big bread companies, but
Right.
he had always desired to open his own, and I learned under him, and the rest is history.
So was this your first restaurant then you guys opened up together?
Together, yes. When I was little, my family had restaurants. They had Mexican restaurants and little Latino markets. This
Right.
was in LA. And I grew in that type of background. My mom also had a little tiny restaurant where she made burritos and tacos. She was very good, a good cook, and she also did baking. So I actually learned a lot from my mother as well. But as far as Sacco and I, this was our first. It's been a great adventure.
And Sacco is your husband.
Yes,
so those
Sacco.
that listening to, we're not just saying Sacco. But the two of you, since I met you two, I mean, he's very quiet.
Yes, I'm the talkative one. He's the quiet one, but it somehow works, right?
When I met Sacco, you guys are married?
Yeah, I know. It just seems like so opposite.
But he loves playing these keyboards, right?
Yes, he does. That's where his voice comes out, I believe,
Music.
and through his baking.
There you go. So, I mean, your bake shop is always it's an icon for not just Escondido, but I think North County. It's an institution. People come from far and they always go there. It's one of my favorite places to go.
Thank you, David.
But let's see. So, you got this and you opened this restaurant. And what's the next step in this restaurant?
Well, we bought a location on Grand. It's a 2-story building, and it has a nice big patio in the back. We're actually, we've been waiting to open. We're hoping that something's going to happen soon,
Good.
And our goal is to have more space. We've definitely outgrown our space. It could be frustrating sometimes. Right. And so our new location would provide more space and longer hours. We're hoping for music and dancing because that's where the fun is, right? And
your Latina comes out in you.
Yeah, must have fun, right? And music. And so we have some great dreams and great plans for our restaurant.
And I know your daughter and your son work with you, and your daughter's taking a very strong leadership role,
yes,
correct?
She has. She's been such a great blessing, especially during I say the times during COVID where we had to quickly implement systems and technologies and ordering online. She was just there to implement all of that, where maybe I'm lacking. She's very strong. So I think that's the beauty of having a family business is that everyone has their gifts, and together we're just sharpening each other, and that's how we get through it, whatever comes our way.
And I see your son baking sometimes when I see him in there helping out, right?
Yeah, so my son, he's actually a paleontologist,
I know.
a geologist, so he used to bake. He is ready to come and help us whenever. He's actually quite gifted in the baking area. I really miss him being there more often, but he's doing his career, but he's always coming back during our busy time to get us through the seasons.
Well, I like it because it's truly a family business with the four of you, huh?
Yeah, it really is. Mm-hmm.
And then good staff that always makes good success.
Oh my goodness, they are everything. I think that's really the key of shining in your business is loving on the right team and staff, and implementing that importance of customer service, setting the example. So when you're gone, they're doing what you would want them to do. And I just love our team. I feel like that's what they do.
Well, that's the secret is a big success. I mean, the secret for business success is just what you just said: is put a strong team in motion. Because you, as a business owner, you don't want to be the one working there every day.
Right.
You know, somebody once told me she had a restaurant. She goes, "I don't work in the restaurant; I work for the restaurant."
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
As a restaurant owner, your goal is to make the business succeed. Doesn't mean that your best use of your time is cooking.
I agree. When you put that team together by starting off by setting a great example. When you leave, they're representing you the way you would want to be represented, and that allows you to get out and do what you really need to be doing, besides just being in the business, but doing things in the community. I also say rest. Rest is a big part of success. You work. Anybody who's a business owner knows that it's your baby. You're working constantly, but you learn to eventually rest, to get rejuvenated, and to come back and pour out those new, energized ideals.
When you're in there, the times that you had to go and bake, I don't know if you bake all the times, but I remember you start really early in the baking.
I do, yes. And machinery, of course, like technology, has allowed me to come in a little bit later, so I get there around 5. There was a time that I used to get there earlier, but because of certain machines technology, a lot of things are happening while I'm sleeping. Right. So once I get there, I could just take care of things and pop them in the oven. So, but we do get there early.
Well, I was always told from my mom as a baker, the secret to a good croissant is not make it fast.
No, our croissants take 3 days to make.
Wow.
So, and then the 4th day, we're doing our almond croissants. So a lot of people think you just roll that dough, mix it, and then it's in the oven. It's not. It's several days of a process and love and then eventually cutting it and rolling it and in the oven.
Well, when you bake with love, the outcome's a lot better.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And I taste love every time I take a bite of one of your meals. So thank you.
Yay, that's what we want.
So this restaurant, you said 14 years?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy. Time really flew.
And then the next restaurant will open up when it opens up.
When it opens up, I'm hoping soon.
And is there any goals? What's your next step you got the second restaurant open? It's in full production. A lot of success is happening. Where's Alberta in that?
I think once we're there at the new place, I think that number one, we're going to have to really, we're going to be open. We're already open 7 days, but we're going to be stretching our hours. And then we'd like to implement, like I said, some dinner, music, and hopefully dancing. And then I hope to I've been working on wholesale, but to continue to work on the wholesale and catering part of the business. And then the rest, we'll see. That's one thing that I've learned with this business is that, being flexible, just being present, and knowing that you might have an ideal that you're going to do something, and then boom, something happens, right, in the world or whatever. Fluctuations in life, right? And so the main thing is just being there and being prepared and being ready and not afraid of what you might need to do. You might need to delete things, add some things, reinvent some ideals, but the main thing is we're ready and we're excited to always do that.
And that's what I like about a good sound business. You have to have the flexibility.
Yeah.
I mean, we can't all be In-N-Out Hamburger, have the same menu for how long now? Yeah. I mean, we don't put secret menus out there like they do, but we just put a real menu out there.
Yes.
So along this path, I mean, your previous working, raising your kids, and then with the restaurant transition, has there been anybody that stood out as a role model or mentor to you?
Oh my goodness! That's a.
And I know you're a person of very strong faith, so
I really am. I'm glad. Thank you for saying that, because I would just say, if I can just be so open, it's just, the Lord has been definitely His word and everything it says about who He is for us and what He does for me, and just having that faith, because there are so many times in life. Like I said earlier, there's going to be uncertainties, and there are going to be times where you're like, whoa, how are we going to get through this? And it's just that matter of faith, And I think anybody that's just kind of helped me get through those times with the word of keeping the faith and keeping strong and never stop hoping. And just joy. Joy is the strength, right? Just having a joy is just like a strength to get you through anything. And I'm not just saying this because you are right in front of me, but you have definitely been such an example of what you do for the community. Right. And, just I think that is so important. Just seeing other people, how they give to the community, and it makes you want to be really open into your eyes and in your ears and to seeing what people need. So,
And that's what I love about you. Your passion comes out in not just the food, but in the community work that you do. I remember I always see you at the Rotary event with the Taste of SNU.
yeah,
I think it's
that's a
called
fun
Coors
event.
Cuisine.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Gracie was doing crepes the other
Oh
time.
my goodness, boy, that girl, she works hard. Yeah, we did crepes live, and that's such a fun event. We do it every year, and I think it's just fun to see the community and everybody come out and serve for a greater purpose.
Right. Well, I appreciate that. What we do, what you do, and bringing community together is important. And food's always the easiest way to do it.
Yeah, isn't that the truth? I was just thinking about that. I said that's one thing everybody has in common is food, music, or just wanting that joy.
Right.
So I agree, food is a great place to find a bond with mankind.
I'm gonna say I'm guilty of this one. I mean, I remember when I was young with my mom. My mom was a baker, like I think we shared. We'd all eat dinner together. That family dinner time was so important. Now, I mean, I was guilty with my 4 daughters. We'd eat dinner here and there, not every single day consistently, but that family dinner time, that love on the table is beautiful.
Yeah, it is.
And I think sometimes going to your restaurant, the family will come and sit down there, and I do feel that in your restaurant. So
that makes me very happy. I think that's the greatest thing. If we could just share love every day. People are coming into the restaurant, every restaurant for that matter. They could have picked anywhere to go, and they chose to come to our place. Number one, we feel gratefulness beyond measure, but if we can just share love and make the customer feel like they don't regret coming.
Right.
You can't please everybody, but you try, right? And you try to just pour that love on them.
God, I don't want to go down this route, but I love my restaurant friends, and I love it more that people share positive stories. Anytime I hear somebody go on some social media platform talking negative, oh God, it's the worst thing we do.
Hard.
Our goal in life is to be a positive person and share love.
Yeah.
Or at least that's my goal, I should say. I'm very selfish on that one. And the last thing I advise anybody to do, don't go out and say something negative about a business. Go talk to the business owner. That's how it's really going to get changed.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. I really do appreciate if a customer comes to us and will call us or write us, because how will we know? And we can change things. And every restaurant owner works hard.
Right on.
And I know they would appreciate that.
That's my little negative remark I didn't want to say, but somebody once said, if you have a problem with the business, tell the owner. If you love the business, tell a friend.
Oh, yeah.
So this restaurant has been your career. What else would you be doing if it wasn't for this restaurant? Do you have a period? I always like asking this question. What would that career had? I knew you did. You were in an office environment back in LA, weren't you?
Yeah, a long time ago. I worked in downtown, the high-rise buildings, and did office work. Early on. That is a very good question. I can't imagine doing anything else.
Wow.
I feel like it's just been part of my life for so long. I probably would have to say it would be service, and that's the one thing I'm realizing is everybody has gifts, and it's somehow those gifts don't go away. So whether you're serving in a food industry, serving with children, serving somewhere, I probably would be serving somewhere. I just love serving people.
Wow. Mm-hmm. So you got this little hypothetical story. A young student coming out of high school and they want to open a restaurant, and they're just in their teens, 20s. What advice would you have for somebody that wants to start their own restaurant? Any words of wisdom that you could share, or at least one point?
I could share something that I share, I think, with almost everybody I interview, and my team would probably laugh if they heard me say this because I say it all the time. But there was, they did a study and they asked people, would you like to have the greatest amazing food or the greatest amazing service? Which one would you pick? And by far, everybody picked service, which means people love to be fed in their heart and feel good, where they're putting their money, where they're putting their time and energy. So I always tell my team, what if you do both? What if you give great food and do your best in showing up and giving great food and great service and taking care of the customer? That is where success is. You're taking care of them in their tummy. You're taking care of them in their heart and in their mind and appreciating them. But I think also I would tell them planning. It takes planning. It takes vision. And it takes showing up to make that plan and vision and it takes faith. And a lot of times fear can stop us, but I say don't let any fear stop you. Just keep going and showing up. And when you have a team of support, your tribe, that helps. I told you I have my family. We are sharpening each other, and friends like you and other friends in the community. But and knowing your environment, where are you going to be located,
right.
and what's going on inside the walls of your business, what's going outside the walls of your business. All these things do matter. You can't ignore what's going outside of the walls. That's how you best serve and are received.
Wow, that's probably the best advice I've heard so far. Thank you so much. But you're so right on the service. It's so important. You can have the best steak house in the world. If the service is crappy, it's not going to stay open too long.
Yeah, that's right.
You're so right. So I got a couple more questions. And what was I say? So the restaurant's going to open up soon, we know. But you have success, and let's assume, I'm guessing the generation is going to shift. So you and Sako have a little bit more of a break, and then your daughter and the next team will show up. Is there a legacy you want to leave once you say, okay, I'm officially retired from the restaurant business?
Yes.
What is that legacy? What do you want people to remember you for at that restaurant? Or in community, I should say, huh? If you could share. If not, we could pass on that one.
That's deep. Well, definitely, I do want to leave a legacy and leave something for my children, and let them hopefully see my example, that I wanted to love on the people and be there to create and invent and never get stagnant and try to, bring fun and enjoyment to customers and people. And so if I know Grace has a desire to completely take over, and she definitely has what it takes. I see her and I'm like, wow, she's ready. So yeah, when we do finally take that time to rest, and I know it will come, I think I just would like everybody to know that I am so grateful. When I walked into this building, there was a sign, and I'm going to read it if that's okay.
Yes.
It said, "Treat your talents with humility and accept your success with grace." That's on the front door of this office. And I think that everything is just because of grace.
Right.
And I have a very humble heart for that grace that's been given us to serve the community. I don't take it for granted. I know that it's work, and I know it's a gift, and I hope customers will always feel like they're part of that gift. They are gifts to us.
And now, and at the same time, your daughter's name's Grace.
Yeah, my daughter is Grace. That's such a good point. Yeah.
Okay. My last question, I always like to end up, it's all about food.
Okay.
Now, I'm either in your household, you said your mom had a restaurant, or so does she bake family meals for you and your family? And if so, what was that favorite go-to that was just your absolute favorite meal that your mom would make?
Oh my goodness. Okay, my mom is such a good cook and a good baker. So she made an amazing chile relleno, enchiladas, and the other thing was her meatloaf was fantastic. So I love her meatloaf because of her. And then one of the recipes that I use in the bakery, it's her carrot cake recipe. Okay. So I love her carrot cake. Yeah, but Mom was she is a good cook. She's 88 now, slowing down, but she definitely was quite an influence on me.
Wow. And I share those stories and ask those questions because of where my mom's at.
Right.
We can always ask whatever thing, but it's that food, it's so much community, and what that family and the generation leaves to us. So
absolutely.
But thank you for sharing that story. And my very last question, what's your favorite thing about either Escondido or North County? Is there anything that stands out, like a go-to place? It doesn't have to be a restaurant or food, but where's my nice little peaceful place that I like to go to, my getaway? I know you like going to spas. I see you and your friends going to spas. And the dancing, I know.
That's so funny. And so this is just for Escondido?
No, anything in North County, anything that stands out. We're talking about community in North County.
Okay, well, you see, we're just ending summer. Boy, I love the concert in the parks in Carlsbad.
Yes.
Again, the music, and then getting out with friends and family and just joining together and feeling like you're resting. And I love the Wild Animal Park. I love to just get in a corner and read and eat something. There's so much in our town. I love going to Oceanside
Right.
and
See,
Rooftop. That's a fun, enjoyable, relaxing place.
North County has so much go-to places that and my passion is to share that. And I just caught something. Your old school North County, which I consider myself, that we still call it Wild Animal Park.
Oh, Safari Park. Oops, I showed my old school.
We always talk about there's another one that stands out there, but we still call it Wild Animal Park. We know that we're OG.
Yes, that's so funny. What may I ask? What is yours?
Oh God, mine's always going to be beaches. I hate to say that.
Yeah, we're so blessed.
I mean, North County has approximately 30 miles of beaches from Del Mar City to Del Mar, Camp Pendleton.
Yeah.
People don't know there's 2 Del Mars in North County.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, I didn't know that either.
So the city of Del Mar, Solana Beach, of course, we know that one.
Yes.
Del Mar Fairground staple, right?
Right.
But in Camp Pendleton, the actual beach that's open to the enlisted and for everybody, and there's camping, I believe there. The beach in Camp Pendleton is called Del Mar.
Oh, interesting. I learned
Trivia
something.
question. There you go.
Yeah.
Well, on that note, I just want to say thank you so much for coming over here to our studios here in North County. I mean, you supported my goal of bringing North County together with my platform, I say North County. Our Cafecito networking events, are happen Escondido to Chula Vista. So I thank you for supporting what we do. This business expo we have coming up September 25th. I know you've been following what we do, but anything I could do to serve you, I'll be there. Just let me know. And I thank you for all the service you do for our community and bringing people together with food and more.
Thank you, David. And I say the same back to you. Thank you for everything.
So it's been a pleasure, everybody. Thank you for having Alberta join me, talking about Delight of Friends located in Escondido. We're talking about community and culture. And again, you can't go wrong with food.
No, you can't.
Our culture has so much food foundations on it. Right. And yes, it's French it's a French cafe, but there's a lot of twists in those recipes, I know.
Oh, there is. The Vasako bean Armenian. Yeah, we do add a little bit of, especially with our catering. And they get quite popular. That's
right. Yeah, if you need catering, she's always there. They're always there. So check out Delight of France. And this is David Zamaya signing off. Come visit our website or social media page. It's called My Say North County. And we make a difference with one cafecito at a time. Thank you, everybody.